Hi, David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. First day on the job site. And what we're going to be installing here is a theft deterrent for a catalytic converter for vehicles. And the way this works is we're going to do an elevated slab right in this parking stall where the vehicle is going to go. And it's an 8-inch elevated slab. It still clears the bottom of, in this particular case, it's a van. So it's a little bit of, off the ground compared to a passenger vehicle. So we got an 8-inch lift here. We're going to pour it right on top of the asphalt. The van's going to straddle this elevated pad, and then no one can take the catalytic converter out. So basically what we have here is a catalytic converter anti-theft device. So I just got some 2x8s here. So technically it's 7.5 inches high. And what I'll do, this asphalt, because it's a parking lot, I'm assuming it's going to be about 6 inches deep of asphalt. So I'm going to go ahead and drill right into it. Some number 5 bars, 5/8 dowels into this asphalt. That way if they miss when they're driving into this and they hit the concrete, it's not going to get knocked out of position. And I'll just run some verticals, probably about 6 or 8 verticals, stub ups, and then I'll just lay a grid in there, like a 18-inch on center grid, all number 4s with number 5s into the asphalt. Now I had to bring the generator on this one because it was a long pull to the power on the building. This is just a little 2200 water. And on the outside, just to hold these forms in place, right now I'm installing some tap cons. They're like 3/16 inch by 2.5 inch or 3 inch long. And these tap cons that I'm using, I've been using them over and over and over, probably for about 5 years or so. That's how good they are. A few wood screws inside so the concrete doesn't squeeze underneath the form and push it up. So that does a couple things. That plate we drilled in, it holds it in position from shifting, side to side, and then also it helps the form from floating up. Now I'm going to bring the big boy DeWalt battery powered. Unfortunately, they don't have a bit small enough for that tool for my tap cons. I think the smallest that big boy goes down to is 3/8 inch. Now I'm just going to blow all the dust out of here. Try to get a bond down on this. Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. We're going to be doing a giveaway on the Keen Wellington Philadelphia work boot. And I happen to be wearing them right now. I've been wearing these about a week. I wanted to try them out, see how they worked out. But they're nice. The nice thing about these, they're air infused midsole, so you get all day comfort out of these. Barnyard resistant, waterproof leather, and they're chemical resistant. Sole on these are oil, slip resistant, non-marking, and they're heat resistant all the way up to 572 degrees. You know how I like to wear these, especially when I'm digging? When you're knocking a lot of dust and dirt around. If you put your pant leg over the top like that, you'll never get dirt in your boot. My socks have never been cleaner lately. All right, so me and my son both got a pair from Keen, and that's why we're doing this review. Also, we're gonna do a giveaway. That was another deal that I got. I get to give away a free pair of boots to any of the subscribers. The key word to get entered into the drawing is Keen Wellington Philadelphia work boot. Just say that in the comments, and then we're gonna put all the people that say that comment into the Google randomizer. The Google will push out a name, and then I'll contact you and let you know who the winner is. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Now, because it's a small pour, I was able to find a rental place that had these mixers. They have a portable batch plant base, basically, that they load these trailers up, and they mix as you drive down the road. The barrel spinning, in other words, as you tow it to the job site. They'll load about a yard and a half, 1 yard into them, but they're capable of almost 2 yards actually. And what I did with this one, this is a 7-sack mix, and I also added some accelerator. I was able to buy that right at the same place I got the concrete, and I put about 5 pounds of accelerator into that yard mix. Let's say if you have a job that's a little over a yard and they're only going to batch you a yard, and it's quite a trip to go back and pick up some more. If you stockpile your job site with some bags or some loose sand and gravel, powder, cement, you can just dump your first load and then mix on site with this thing a couple yards at a time, no problem. Give it a light tap. Now, in order to get all the air out of the sides of this and the air bubbles and rock pockets, we just hit it a lot with a hammer all the way around the perimeter, hit the wood, and that knocks all the air out of the sides. This is a 3-foot wide wood bowl float. You notice how the bowl float is going perpendicular to the way the rod was running on the first pass, and now we're just going to go the other way, so we went 2 directions. Now we've got a 10-inch wide, 1/2-inch radius walking edger here. So what's happened at this particular location where the company van parks, the catalytic converter kept getting taken out of the vehicle, so they came up with this idea here, and they won't be able to get under the vehicle. They have to take the whole vehicle at this point. Another thing you could possibly do is drill in some anchors to the sides of this and then run a chain over the top of the van, maybe, or I don't know, you know, but that can be cut as well. So it's a no-win situation. I mean, if somebody wants something, they're gonna get it. There's also a lot of cameras they had on this particular building, but that didn't work either. Oh, we just had a change order come in last minute. We want radius edges, you know, in case the driver misses the lineup and hits one of these corners. You could puncture a sidewall real easy, because you know how tires work. The sidewalls are thin, the tread's pretty thick, but so we're going to put a little radius on here, and here's what I came up with. I'm just going to drive a steel stake and break it loose right there. That way when I strip, because I'm going to wet strip this and face the sides, so when I strip, that piece will just fall away, and then I can just hand float it and shape it up. Get a little radius in there to save a tire possibly. Here's strip time, and it came off clean. There's not many voids in that. I mean, you could almost leave it as is, although I did have to shape these edges up and soften them up a little bit. Now the backside we didn't have to radius, because that's you're not going to hit that coming in, because you come in from the back, this other end. And we're into this from right when we started pouring to this point. This is about 2.5 hours, because we had that accelerator in there. We had a lot of cement in there. All those things reacting, you know, made it pop off. There it is, a 50% horsehair, 50% nylon broom. A beautiful final touch. Now what they'll probably end up doing with this, from what I understand, is they're going to put some that yellow chain, you know, just to block people from accidentally trying to park there and running into it. They're going to come from that light post and put a couple cones with some chain around it until the company vehicle's in its slot, and then they can remove it. And then they could even paint the sides of this yellow potentially. A lot of things you can do so people don't you know, run into that. It's in a good safe spot though, next to the planter, so it's not going to get hit if someone trying to just race through parking stalls anyway. Alright, well that about wraps it up anyway. Thanks for watching, and have a good day or night, whatever it may be.